Yo, what's really good, my people? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. Let's get into this. So, Rhondo put a post up saying that he is no longer rolling 60s crib. He is dropping his flag, and he wants the world to know. He is doing this because a couple weeks ago he was shot at, and his friend was ultimately killed in Los Angeles. Everybody knows the Rolling 60s started, their headquarters are in Los Angeles. So we're all presuming that he was there under the protection of the Rolling 60s. He's not from California. He's from Savannah, Georgia. It's well documented that he knows Big U. You know, he's talked about Big U. Big U's talked about him. And everybody assumes that he was there under the protection of the 60s. Now, he's saying that his friend was killed and ain't nobody doing shit about it. So why is he still repping something that, you know, they ain't protecting nobody or whatever? So he more or less said, I'm done with it. Now, Quando, you know, like anybody that's really from the streets know, that don't mean a motherfucking thing when it comes to your ops. Your ops don't care whether you say you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jehovah's Witness, or you're not a Crip anymore. They are still on your ass. So don't think that that shit is going to save you or make you, you know, oh, well, you know, nah, he's a good, you know, he dropped his flag. So, hell no. When it's up, it's stuck. And people ain't going to give a fuck about that whole, yeah, I changed my life shit. Some people don't care about that. So that's one. And for two, this is giving me Tekashi 6ix9ine vibes. Because if you remember, when Tekashi 6ix9ine went to fucking the Breakfast Club about a week or two before the indictment came on, he said the same thing. He wasn't involved in gangs no more. He wasn't involved with anybody in Treyway. He wasn't involved in none of that shit. And a couple weeks later, the indictment came down. This sounds and feels a lot like that situation. Because everybody knows the hip-hop police is wondering what happened. And they're investigating this shit. And they want to know. They're going to be... Listen, if they haven't already talked to him, they probably will be talking to him. Because we know that hip-hop is the most targeted genre of entertainment that there is in the world. And it's not... And I'm not saying that they're wrong for that. Because a lot of these rappers are morons. And they put all type of confessions and stupid, incriminating, you know, things into their lyrics, into their videos, into all things. So I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that it looks to me like he's doing this for a reason all of a sudden. And I don't think he's foolish enough to think that by him telling the world that he is no longer repping 6-0, that means anything. I think he's smart enough and he knows that shit don't mean nothing. To your ops, they don't care what you talking about. You could be a born-again Christian. They still coming for your ass. No homo. So look, at the end of the day, I'm leaning more towards, I think that he got wind of something. Whether they talk to him or not, I think that he feels that something is coming down. And the temperature and the way that hip-hop is going, especially in Atlanta, and you know, Atlanta's proven to be a hot spot for indictments, especially involving rappers. Now this whole altercation happened in LA, but it's well documented that Quando Rhondo has been very active the last few years. He's been involved allegedly. He's been involved in the King Von shooting. He's provoked a lot of beefs. I don't think this is the first time he's been shot at. His friends have been shot and ultimately killed. He is in the mix. He is in the mix big time. And I'm just saying that the way that hip-hop and the way that the police been coming down on hip-hop for the last 2 or 3 years, I would not be surprised if the feds came and shook him up. And he's trying to do this to kind of separate and distance himself from that shit, so that when the indictment or whatever does come down, he can say, yo, I'm no longer involved in that shit. But unfortunately, probably too late for all that anyway. The damage has already been done, Quando. Anyway, man, y'all be good out there. Y'all be safe out there. Much love and respect to everybody that comes and checks me out on a daily. And the summer's over. It's sad to say. I hate it. The summer's over. So, bundle up. It's gonna be a cold winter. Much love and respect. Until the next time. Peace.